Focus on yourself for a life-changing experience. Buddhist wisdom. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Buddha. Now picture this. What if you could unlock a version of yourself so focused, so resilient, that no external judgment could shake you? A life where distractions fade into the background and your true potential becomes crystal clear. In a world full of noise, opinions, and expectations pulling you in every direction, how do you find the strength to stay grounded and live authentically? Here, on The Journey of Wisdom, we explore the transformative power of focusing on yourself. Today, we'll uncover 10 life-changing Buddhist insights to help you silence the chaos, embrace your inner clarity, and create a life rooted in peace and purpose. Let's begin. 1. Prioritize your inner growth over external validation. In today's fast-paced and hyper-connected world, it is all too easy to fall into the trap of seeking external validation. Whether it's the applause of colleagues, the approval of family, or the fleeting gratification of likes and shares on social media, many of us are conditioned to look outward for affirmation. But as Buddhism teaches, true fulfillment is not found in the eyes of others, it is cultivated within. The more we chase external approval, the farther we drift from our true selves. Our self-worth becomes entangled with others' perceptions, creating a never-ending cycle of insecurity and dissatisfaction. As the Buddha wisely said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." This profound teaching reminds us that our inner thoughts shape our reality. By turning inward and nurturing self-awareness, we can unlock a sense of peace and strength that external validation can never provide. Buddhism highlights the path to enlightenment through mindfulness, inner transformation, and self-awareness. When we prioritize inner growth, we transcend the grasp of the ego, which relentlessly craves attention, recognition, and status. The ego is insatiable. No amount of external approval will ever satisfy it, leaving us perpetually yearning for more. Instead, focusing on self-awareness allows us to step away from this exhausting chase. We begin to see our worth not through the distorted mirror of others' opinions, but through our own values, integrity, and personal evolution. True success is not measured by accolades or material achievements, but by the person you are becoming. Are you kinder, more compassionate, more mindful than you were yesterday? These are the milestones that matter, and they are cultivated within. The pursuit of external validation is fleeting by nature. Praise and recognition can vanish as quickly as they appear, leaving us scrambling for the next source of approval. In contrast, inner growth builds resilience. When your self-worth is anchored in your own development, criticism or rejection loses its sting. You become confident and secure in your identity, able to navigate life's challenges with grace. As the Dalai Lama aptly said, happiness is not something ready-made, it comes from your own actions. By prioritizing inner growth, you create a foundation of strength and joy that no external force can shake. Inner growth also liberates you to live authentically, free from the weight of societal expectations. When you stop worrying about what others think, you grant yourself the freedom to align your actions with your deepest values and desires. This authenticity not only brings inner peace, but also deepens your relationships. People are naturally drawn to those who live with integrity and confidence in their own skin. Moreover, the Buddhist teaching of impermanence, the idea that everything in life is temporary, further illustrates why chasing external validation is a futile endeavor. The approval you seek today may evaporate tomorrow, but the wisdom, resilience, and self-awareness you cultivate through inner growth are enduring treasures. Another essential Buddhist concept is equanimity, the ability to maintain emotional balance regardless of external circumstances. When you focus on inner growth, you develop this invaluable quality, becoming less reactive to both praise and criticism. Your sense of self-worth becomes independent of the ever-changing opinions of others, anchored instead in your own inner peace. This emotional stability allows you to approach life's ups and downs with clarity and calmness, enhancing your well-being and decision-making. As Thich Nhat Hanh beautifully put it, the mind can go in 1,000 directions, but on this path I walk in peace. By focusing on inner growth, you create a life rooted in tranquility and purpose. This journey inward is not an isolated or selfish pursuit. On the contrary, it enhances your ability to contribute meaningfully to the world around you. When you cultivate self-awareness, mindfulness, and compassion, you bring those qualities into your relationships and communities. You inspire others to embark on their own paths of growth, creating a ripple effect of positivity and harmony. Inner growth is the cornerstone of a fulfilling life, not just for yourself, but for everyone you interact with. As you let go of the need for external validation, you discover the freedom to live authentically, embrace your unique journey, and unlock your true potential. Ultimately, prioritizing inner growth over external validation is an act of self-empowerment. When you stop depending on others' opinions to feel good about yourself, you step into a life of lasting joy and resilience. External approval may provide a fleeting sense of happiness, but true fulfillment is found in the depths of your own self-awareness and efforts. As the Buddha taught, "No one saves us but ourselves, no one can, and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path." By choosing to focus on your inner growth, you honor this timeless wisdom and take the first steps toward a more peaceful, authentic, and empowered life. Let go of the need for external validation, turn inward, and begin the transformative journey of self-discovery. 2. Don't get caught up in social comparison. One of life's greatest traps is the habit of comparing yourself to others. Whether it's their looks, career, possessions, or even happiness, this habit only feeds envy, frustration, and a deep sense of inadequacy. Buddhism reminds us that comparison is a form of attachment that ultimately leads to suffering. Each time you measure your worth against others, you shift focus away from your unique journey and the progress you've made. Instead of nurturing your path, you get lost in a cycle of dissatisfaction, forgetting that life is about being true to yourself. As the Buddha wisely said, health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. This timeless teaching points us to a profound truth. True wealth isn't found in outshining others or acquiring more. It's found in contentment. Inner peace grows when you can truly appreciate what you have and embrace who you are. Social comparison, however, pulls you into a scarcity mindset, making you fixate on what you lack rather than cherishing the abundance already in your life. Social media often amplifies this problem. In today's hyper-connected world, scrolling through curated feeds filled with perfect vacations, glowing accomplishments, and picture-perfect lifestyles can leave you feeling inadequate or like you're falling behind. But here's the reality. What we see online is often just a highlight reel. Behind the polished photos are struggles, doubts, and challenges, things we rarely see or acknowledge. Comparing your behind-the-scenes reality to someone else's best moments only creates unnecessary suffering. Think of it this way. Everyone's journey is different. Life isn't a competition or a race, but a personal experience that unfolds uniquely for each of us. When you embrace this perspective, you can free yourself from the constant urge to measure your progress against others. Instead of focusing outward, start turning inward. Buddhism emphasizes mindfulness and gratitude, practices that shift your attention from what others are doing to the beauty and blessings in your own life. The more you cultivate gratitude, the less you'll feel the need to compare. Let me share a story to illustrate this. There was once a farmer who felt deeply envious of his neighbor's lush fields. Every day he would look over the fence and wonder why his own crops were so meager in comparison. Over time, his envy grew so much that he stopped tending to his own land. Weeds overtook his fields, and his envy turned into despair. One day, he decided to visit his neighbor to ask about his secret. To his surprise, the neighbor said, "I don't focus on others' fields. I simply pour my heart into tending my own." This simple wisdom struck the farmer. He realized that his obsession with comparison had blinded him to the work he needed to do on his own land. From that day on, he focused on his own crops and watched them flourish. This story reminds us that the energy we waste on comparison is better spent nurturing our own growth. When you focus on your own path, you'll notice your potential and how far you've come. Comparing often breeds competition, and from competition springs jealousy and resentment. These emotions cloud your mind and create unnecessary tension. Instead, remind yourself of a key Buddhist principle: right livelihood. This means living a life of balance and harmony, where your actions align with your values, not with societal expectations or others' achievements. When you stop comparing and start embracing your journey, you discover a deeper sense of fulfillment. You begin to understand that your worth doesn't come from external validation or outperforming others, but from being true to yourself. Social comparison can also steer you away from your true desires. It can tempt you into chasing goals or acquiring possessions that don't align with your inner values simply because they seem desirable on the surface. But remember, true happiness isn't found in keeping up with others. It's found in walking your unique path with authenticity and purpose. Breaking free from this cycle requires practicing non-attachment. This doesn't mean abandoning your ambitions. Rather, it's about recognizing that your value isn't tied to others' successes or failures. Your worth is inherent. When you let go of the need to compare, you free yourself to focus on what genuinely brings you joy and fulfillment. Think about how much time and energy we waste envying others. What if, instead, we use that energy to work on our dreams, nourish our relationships, and care for ourselves? Take a moment to reflect. Are the things you're striving for truly yours, or are they influenced by what you see others achieving? This simple question can help you realign with your values and live more intentionally. Life is not about running faster than others. It's about walking your path with mindfulness and gratitude. Remember, each of us has our own challenges, timing, and lessons. Someone else's success doesn't diminish your worth or potential. Their story isn't yours, and that's okay. As you let go of comparison, you'll find more time to appreciate how much you've grown. You'll notice the small victories that make life meaningful. You'll realize that life is about being present, not perfect. The joy of living authentically far outweighs the fleeting satisfaction of competing with others. When you focus on your journey, you cultivate a deep sense of inner peace and fulfillment that no external achievement can provide. So, how can you take the first step toward letting go of comparison? Start by practicing gratitude daily. Notice the small blessings that make your life rich and unique. Next, set intentions based on your values, not on what you think others expect from you. And finally, remind yourself of this truth. You are enough, just as you are. True contentment comes from within, not from the world outside. 3. Realize that people are focused on their own lives. Have you ever stopped to think about how much of your energy is spent worrying about what others think of you? It's almost second nature to imagine that people are constantly watching, judging, and forming opinions about every little thing we do. Whether it's the way we dress, speak, or make decisions, we often let this fear of judgment shape our lives. But here's the liberating truth. Most people aren't thinking about you nearly as much as you think. Why? Because they're too busy dealing with their own lives. Think about it. How much time do you spend worrying about someone else's every action or decision? Probably very little, because you're preoccupied with your own challenges, dreams, and insecurities. The same applies to everyone else. Realizing this is a game changer. It frees you from the burden of constantly seeking external approval. When you embrace the idea that others are more focused on themselves, you can shift your attention inward. This shift is not selfish, it's empowering. It allows you to live more authentically, make choices that align with your values, and discover what truly brings you joy. Buddhism teaches the concept of non-attachment, not just to material possessions, but also to the opinions of others. When you stop clinging to the need for external validation, you open the door to inner peace and self-confidence. The Buddha said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." This profound wisdom reminds us that true fulfillment doesn't come from how others perceive us, but from our own sense of purpose and authenticity. When you let go of the fear of judgment, you no longer live as a prisoner of other people's thoughts. Instead, you become the master of your own life. Now, let's dig a little deeper. Why are we so afraid of what others might think? Perhaps it's because we've been conditioned to believe that our worth is tied to external approval. From an early age, we learn to measure success by how others see us. But consider this. How often do you truly judge others in a way that significantly impacts their lives? Rarely, if ever. If this is true for you, why would it be any different for them? Most people are simply trying to navigate their own struggles. They're worried about their families, careers, and personal insecurities. When you understand this, it becomes clear that the spotlight you imagine shining on you is actually quite dim. By focusing less on what others think, you create mental space to explore what genuinely matters to you. This freedom allows you to take risks, follow your passions, and live a life that feels true to who you are. As the Buddha encouraged, your work is to discover your world, and then with all your heart, give yourself to it. This means dedicating yourself fully to your own path, not the expectations of others. What dreams have you been putting off because of fear? What passions have you buried because you're worried about being judged? These are the questions worth asking, because the answers hold the key to your personal growth. Living authentically also fosters empathy. When you stop fearing judgment, you become more understanding of others. You recognize that everyone is fighting their own battles, some visible, some hidden. This perspective can transform your relationships, making them more compassionate and meaningful. Instead of worrying about how you're perceived, you can focus on connecting with others in a genuine way. And isn't that what truly matters? Letting go of the fear of judgment isn't easy. It's a practice. But every small step you take brings you closer to freedom. Start by questioning the thoughts that make you anxious about others' opinions. Are they really thinking about you, or are they consumed by their own lives? Replace those thoughts with affirmations of self-worth. Tell yourself, "I am enough, just as I am." With time, you'll notice a shift. You'll feel lighter, more confident, and more in control of your own happiness. As you embrace this mindset, you'll find yourself making choices that align with your values rather than the expectations of others. You'll start to notice a sense of peace that comes from living authentically. You'll realize that life is too short and the world too vast to live confined by the shadows of imagined opinions. Instead of holding back, you'll step forward, boldly and with purpose. So, I leave you with this question. What would you do differently today if you weren't worried about what others think? Reflect on this and let it guide you. As you let go of the fear of judgment, you'll uncover a world of possibilities waiting for you. The Buddha's teachings remind us that the journey to peace and fulfillment begins within. Focus on your own growth and watch as your life transforms into a reflection of your true self. If you've watched up to this point, you're already taking the first steps toward a life-changing journey of self-discovery and inner peace. Comment below with "Focus Within" to affirm your commitment to this transformative path. Don't click away just yet. There's still profound wisdom waiting to guide you toward a more balanced, fulfilling life. Stay until the end to uncover the keys to true happiness and personal growth. 4. Focus on what you can control, yourself. In life, much of our frustration stems from trying to control what is beyond our grasp, how others act, how circumstances unfold, or how the future takes shape. This relentless pursuit of control over the uncontrollable often leads to suffering, as the Buddha taught. Clinging to external outcomes is like trying to grasp water in your hand. The tighter you grip, the more it slips away. Instead of expending energy on the external, Buddhism teaches us to focus on what we can control, ourselves. As the Buddha wisely said, "Rule your mind, or it will rule you." This profound truth reminds us that true mastery begins within. Our thoughts, emotions, and reactions are the only domains where we hold true power, and by directing our energy inward, we can transform our lives. When we shift our focus from changing others to changing ourselves, a remarkable thing happens. We begin to find peace amidst chaos. Rather than reacting impulsively to situations or blaming others for our unhappiness, we can ask ourselves, how can I improve my response? How can I cultivate patience, understanding, or resilience? This introspection builds inner strength and clarity, enabling us to navigate life's challenges without being thrown off course. Just as a tree with deep roots remains steady in the storm, anchoring ourselves in self-awareness and mindful practices shields us from external turbulence. By focusing inward, we liberate ourselves from the exhausting need to control others, reclaiming our emotional energy and redirecting it toward our own growth. This inward focus is not a retreat from the world, but a profound shift in perspective. It's about realizing that the behavior of others or the outcomes of certain events do not define your happiness. Imagine the freedom that arises when you no longer depend on others to validate your worth or circumstances to align perfectly for you to feel content. True freedom lies in detaching from the unpredictable and cultivating an inner sanctuary of peace that remains untouchable by external chaos. As the renowned Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh said, "Peace is every step." With every conscious breath and every intentional action, we can practice letting go of the need to control and instead embrace the serenity that comes from self-mastery. This journey of focusing on yourself also creates a ripple effect. By transforming your inner world, you naturally influence those around you. Your calm becomes contagious, your resilience inspiring. Without speaking a word, your actions demonstrate the power of inner peace. People notice the unshakable foundation you've built, and it often encourages them to reflect on their own lives. This is not about forcing change upon others, but gently showing that peace is possible through your example. As the Dalai Lama said, if you want to change the world, first try to improve and bring about change within yourself. That will inspire change in others. The practice of self-focus also shifts your perspective on external challenges. Difficult situations no longer feel insurmountable because you've cultivated the tools to respond with grace and wisdom. The ups and downs of life become less intimidating when you are grounded in your inner stability. You learn to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth, and this mindset shift empowers you to face life with courage and clarity. Ultimately, focusing on yourself is not an act of selfishness, but of wisdom. It's recognizing that the key to a fulfilling life lies within your own thoughts and actions, not in trying to manipulate the uncontrollable. This practice transforms the way you live, replacing reactivity with intentionality and anxiety with serenity. By focusing on mastering your inner world, you unlock the power to remain at peace, regardless of the storms that rage around you. This is the essence of true freedom, the freedom to live with balance, authenticity, and joy, no matter what life brings. 5. Stop sacrificing your peace to please others. Stop sacrificing your peace to please others, because in doing so, you often lose the most precious thing you have, yourself. It's a trap many of us fall into, driven by the desire to be liked, respected, or simply accepted. You might find yourself saying yes when your heart is screaming no, or bending over backward to meet someone else's expectations while your own needs remain unspoken. And for what? At the end of the day, no matter how much you give or how far you go, there will always be someone dissatisfied. This endless cycle of people-pleasing not only drains your energy, but also chips away at your inner peace. Is the approval of others worth losing your center? The Buddha offered timeless wisdom when he said, "Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace." This profound teaching reminds us that what truly matters is not how much we do for others, but the quality and intention behind our actions. Yes, compassion and kindness are cornerstones of a meaningful life, but they must begin within. You can't pour from an empty cup. By stretching yourself thin to make others happy, you risk neglecting the most important relationship of all, the one you have with yourself. When was the last time you stopped to ask yourself, am I at peace with the choices I'm making? Let me tell you a story. There was once a kind-hearted woman named Maya who always put others first. She worked tirelessly to ensure her friends, family, and colleagues were happy. Whenever someone asked for her help, she never hesitated, even if it meant losing sleep or sacrificing her own plans. One day, Maya fell seriously ill, not because of a virus or disease, but because of sheer exhaustion. As she lay in bed recovering, she realized something profound. In trying to be everything for everyone, she had been nothing for herself. That illness became her turning point. Maya started to set boundaries. She said no when she needed to, not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. To her surprise, the world didn't fall apart. Her relationships grew healthier, and she found a sense of joy she hadn't felt in years. Maya's story is a reminder that protecting your peace is not an act of selfishness. It's an act of wisdom. Have you ever felt like Maya, overwhelmed by the weight of everyone's expectations? If so, you're not alone. It's natural to want to help and to be there for others, but where do you draw the line? Buddhism teaches us the importance of balance, of walking the middle path. You can be kind without becoming a doormat. You can be helpful without losing yourself. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person. it makes you an honest one. And honesty, when paired with compassion, creates authentic relationships. When you choose to honor your peace, you're not only helping yourself, but also creating a ripple effect in your world. A calm, centered mind is like a still lake. It reflects clarity and steadiness, bringing calmness to those around you. On the other hand, if you're constantly stressed or anxious from trying to meet everyone's expectations, that energy spreads too. By prioritizing your inner harmony, you can give from a place of strength rather than depletion. This is why focusing on yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary. How can you truly help someone else if you're running on empty? Start by setting boundaries, gentle yet firm ones. Let people know what you can and cannot do, and don't feel guilty about it. When you say no, you're making room to say yes to what truly matters, to rest, to growth, to the activities and people that nourish your soul. Consider this. Would you want someone to help you out of obligation, or because they genuinely want to? The same applies to you. Help when your heart is fully in it, not out of guilt or pressure. At its core, life is not about pleasing everyone. It's about living authentically, in alignment with your values and purpose. When you focus on nurturing your peace, you begin to find joy in the simple moments. A quiet morning, a deep breath, a heartfelt conversation. All these become richer when you're not weighed down by the need for external validation. And the irony, when you stop chasing approval, you often find that respect and connection come naturally. Why? Because people are drawn to those who are centered and at peace with themselves. So, here's the lesson. Prioritize your peace. Learn to say no with grace and yes with intention. Recognize that you cannot control how others feel about you, but you can control how you treat yourself. Be your own sanctuary, a space of calm and strength. Remember the Buddha's teaching. One word that brings peace is worth more than 1,000 hollow ones. Let your actions and decisions come from a place of inner harmony, and you'll find that life unfolds with greater ease and authenticity. 6. Don't let rejection break you. Rejection is a universal experience, but it doesn't define who you are or your value in this world. In life, it's natural to feel disheartened when doors close, opportunities slip away, or people fail to see your worth. However, Buddhism offers us a profound perspective on rejection, not as an end, but as a teacher. When you encounter rejection, consider it a nudge from life itself, redirecting you to a better path or helping you uncover your own strength. Rather than perceiving rejection as a sign of failure, let it become an invitation to grow, adapt, and find clarity about what truly aligns with your purpose. In the words of the Buddha, in the end, only 3 things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. These words remind us that grace in the face of disappointment is a powerful act of self-love and wisdom. Think of rejection as a mirror, reflecting not inadequacy, but the lessons you need to learn. When someone or something you value doesn't choose you, it's not a verdict on your worth, but a moment to pause and reflect. This reflection allows you to ask, what does this experience teach me? Perhaps it's a lesson in resilience, patience, or the courage to walk away from what no longer serves your higher self. Just as a sculptor chisels away stone to reveal a masterpiece, rejection can chip away at your ego and expectations, unveiling a more authentic version of you. In modern life, where external validation often feels like the measure of success, rejection is a reminder to look inward for your sense of fulfillment. When you stop chasing what's not meant for you, you make space for opportunities that truly resonate with your soul. Moreover, letting go is not about giving up, but about releasing attachment to outcomes. When we cling to what we think we must have, we suffer unnecessarily. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips through your fingers. The same is true for life. Forcing control only leads to frustration, while loosening your grasp allows the natural flow of events to bring what's meant for you. The Buddha's wisdom encourages us to see impermanence not as a loss, but as the beauty of life's ever-changing nature. Trusting this flow transforms rejection into redirection, revealing paths you might not have noticed otherwise. As the great Zen teacher Thich Nhat Hanh said, "Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy." Choosing to smile, even through rejection, fosters a mindset of hope and gratitude. Modern life can feel relentless in its demands for achievement and approval, making rejection sting even more. But think about it. How many stories of triumph began with a rejection? From authors whose manuscripts were turned down countless times to innovators who faced skepticism, rejection often precedes breakthroughs. Each no is not a barrier, but a step closer to the right yes. The key is to shift your focus from external validation to inner growth. When rejection comes, practice self-compassion instead of self-criticism. Remind yourself that your worth is not tied to someone else's opinion or an outcome you desired. In the words of the Dalai Lama, "When you lose, don't lose the lesson." Every rejection carries wisdom if you are willing to embrace it. This practice of reframing rejection also strengthens your emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable, and resilience is what allows you to bounce back, not just survive, but thrive. You can cultivate this resilience by grounding yourself in the present moment and understanding that rejection is just one moment in your larger journey. Look at rejection as a bend in the road, not the end of the road. With every disappointment, you are being sculpted into a version of yourself that is better equipped for the future. Think of a lotus flower. It blooms in muddy water, symbolizing purity and growth despite adversity. Rejection is your mud. From it, your strength and clarity can blossom. So the next time rejection knocks on your door, welcome it as a guest who comes bearing gifts. Pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what can I learn? Where can I grow? Embrace the journey with faith that life's redirections are not random but purposeful. Trust that what's meant for you will find its way, and until then, keep moving forward with courage and an open heart. When you choose to see rejection not as an enemy, but as an ally, you transform pain into possibility and fear into freedom. Remember, the universe often has bigger plans for you than you could imagine. Let go, trust, and allow life to unfold with grace and confidence in your ability to adapt and thrive. You've come this far, which shows your dedication to transforming your life through self-focus and mindfulness. Comment below with "Transform me" to declare your intention for this change. Keep watching. There's more wisdom ahead to help you unlock your full potential and create the peaceful life you deserve. 7. Stop fearing what others think of you. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself how much of your time and energy is spent worrying about what others think of you? It's a natural human tendency to seek approval, but this habit can also become a source of deep anxiety, holding you back from living authentically. Buddhism offers a profound perspective on this. The judgments of others are reflections of their own mind, not yours. Their opinions are shaped by their own experiences, biases, and struggles, and they rarely have anything to do with who you truly are. So why allow someone else's perception to dictate your happiness or sense of self-worth? Remember the Buddha's wise words, "Let none find fault with others. Let none see the omissions and commissions of others, but let one see one's own acts done and undone. This timeless teaching invites you to shift your focus inward toward self-awareness and personal growth, instead of getting lost in the noise of external opinions. Think about it. How often have you changed your actions, words, or even dreams because of what someone else might think? The truth is, you can never fully control how people perceive you, no matter how hard you try. Their judgments are like clouds passing in the sky, fleeting and impermanent. Why waste your energy chasing something so intangible? Instead, ask yourself, who do I want to be? What values truly matter to me? These are the questions that guide you toward a life rooted in authenticity and inner peace. When you align your actions with your own principles, the opinions of others lose their power over you. Buddhism teaches us that the only thing within our control is our own mind and actions. This principle is empowering because it reminds us that our worth doesn't come from external validation, but from our integrity and self-compassion. When you stop fearing judgment, you create space for something far more valuable: freedom. The freedom to explore who you are without pretending to be someone else. The freedom to make mistakes and learn from them without shame. And ultimately, the freedom to live in harmony with your true self. As the great Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh said, "To be beautiful means to be yourself. You don't need to be accepted by others. You need to accept yourself." Letting go of the fear of judgment isn't easy. It requires mindfulness and patience. Start by noticing when your thoughts spiral into worry about others' opinions. Ask yourself, is this fear helping me, or is it holding me back? Often you'll realize it's the latter. Instead of trying to control what others think, redirect your energy toward cultivating qualities like kindness, honesty, and resilience. These qualities not only enrich your own life, but also naturally inspire respect and admiration from others, without you having to chase it. Have you ever noticed how liberating it feels to be around someone who is unapologetically themselves? They radiate a kind of quiet confidence that draws people in. This is the power of authenticity. When you embrace your unique strengths and flaws, you give others permission to do the same. Imagine the ripple effect this could create, not just for you, but for your community and the world around you. After all, when you let go of judgment, you also become less critical of others. This mutual acceptance fosters deeper, more meaningful relationships. But how do you start this journey of focusing on yourself? Begin with mindfulness. Take a moment each day to sit quietly and observe your thoughts without judgment. Notice how often your mind drifts to worrying about others' opinions. Then gently bring your attention back to your breath, reminding yourself that these thoughts are just that, thoughts, not truths. Reflect on the Buddha's teaching that peace comes from within. No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. This wisdom reminds us that the path to freedom begins with personal responsibility and self-awareness. So today, I encourage you to take a bold step. Release the grip of fear about what others think. Instead, focus on nurturing your own mind, heart, and spirit. Who you are is already enough, and the world needs your unique light, not a dimmed version molded by external judgments. What would your life look like if you let go of this fear? What would you achieve if you allowed yourself to be fully, unapologetically you? The answers to these questions hold the key to a truly life-changing experience. Let your journey inward begin now. 8. Quit seeking approval from everyone. Stop chasing approval from others. It's a trap that takes you away from your true self. Remember what Buddha said, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. This profound wisdom reminds us that the validation you truly need doesn't come from the outside world, but from within. When you spend your life seeking approval, whether it's through compliments, likes on social media, or the approval of friends, family, or colleagues, you place your happiness in the hands of others. This dependence creates a cycle of doubt and stress, where your self-worth rises and falls based on what others say or think. Is that the life you want to live? Buddhism offers a liberating truth. Real confidence and lasting happiness are born from self-acceptance. When you stop measuring yourself by the standards of others and start recognizing your inherent worth, you free yourself from the exhausting pursuit of validation. You become the source of your own joy, and nothing external can take that away from you. But how do you start this journey of self-approval? Begin by practicing self-compassion. When you make a mistake, instead of harshly criticizing yourself, ask, how would I support a dear friend in this situation? Treat yourself with the same kindness. Celebrate your progress, however small, and learn to forgive yourself for setbacks. The more you cultivate this inner compassion, the less power external opinions will have over you. Let me share a story to bring this lesson to life. There was once a farmer who owned a small, worn-down hut and a single patch of land. His neighbors often criticized him, saying, "Why don't you repair your house? Why not plant better crops? Your life is so unimpressive." At first, the farmer felt hurt and worked tirelessly to gain their approval. He painted the house and invested in new seeds. Yet, the more he tried, the more his neighbors found faults. One day, an old monk passing through noticed the farmer's exhaustion and asked, "Why are you working so hard?" The farmer explained his endless quest for approval. The monk smiled and said, "Imagine a river trying to satisfy everyone who drinks from it. It would run dry. Be like the mountain. It stands firm, offering shade and beauty without needing praise. People may come and go, but the mountain remains whole." From that day forward, the farmer focused on what truly mattered, his happiness and his family, and for the first time, he felt peace. This story illustrates the futility of living for others' approval. Ask yourself, how much energy have you spent trying to win the favor of people who may never fully appreciate you? How often have you neglected your own needs because you were too busy pleasing others? What would happen if you turned all that effort inward, towards loving, supporting, and building yourself up? You might discover an inner strength and joy that no one can take away. Living without needing external validation doesn't mean isolating yourself or disregarding others entirely. It means recognizing that other people's opinions are just that, opinions, not truths. Their approval is a reflection of their own perspectives, not a measure of your worth. When you stop attaching your identity to what others think, you create space for something far greater, authenticity. You can live according to your values and passions, making decisions that truly align with your heart. As you embrace this path, remember to ask yourself, am I living in a way that honors my true self? Or am I living to impress others? The more you reflect on this question, the more clarity you'll gain about what really matters to you. You'll begin to notice the moments when you're bending over backward for approval and can gently remind yourself to let go. The key is to approach this shift with patience. It's a practice, not a quick fix. Like a plant growing toward the sunlight, self-acceptance grows stronger with consistent care. Here's the takeaway. You don't need anyone else's permission to love yourself. You are enough just as you are. The more you cultivate your inner approval, the more resilient, free, and joyful you'll become. As Buddha wisely pointed out, you are just as deserving of love as anyone else. The next time you catch yourself looking outward for validation, pause and redirect that energy inward. Choose to be the mountain, standing firm and whole, regardless of who comes or goes. After all, the most life-changing relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. 9. Don't fear being alone. It's where you find true power. Don't fear being alone, for solitude is where true power and profound clarity are born. The Buddha wisely instructed, meditate, live purely, be quiet, do your work with mastery, a timeless reminder that the essence of personal transformation lies not in the noise of the external world, but within the sanctuary of our inner silence. In moments of solitude, we are gifted the rare opportunity to listen, not to the endless chatter of society, but to the deeper truths of our own hearts. This stillness is where self-awareness flourishes, where we learn to face our emotions with honesty, and where growth becomes not an abstract goal, but a lived experience. To embrace solitude is to embrace the courage to stand still while the world rushes by, allowing ourselves to disentangle from distractions and truly focus on the essence of who we are. Many of us fear being alone because society equates it with loneliness. Yet solitude is far from lonely. It is a time for renewal, for reconnecting with the parts of ourselves often neglected in the hustle of modern life. As we step away from seeking validation in others, we begin to see that the love and wisdom we seek already reside within us. In solitude, we transform into our own best friend, nurturing a relationship with ourselves that becomes the foundation for all other relationships in our lives. The modern world constantly demands our attention, pulling us in countless directions, making us believe we must always be busy, always surrounded by others to feel valuable. But true mastery over life is found when we can step back, let go of these expectations, and sit quietly with our thoughts. This is the essence of mindfulness and meditation, practices that have been proven not only to enhance emotional well-being, but also to reduce stress and improve mental clarity. When we cultivate these habits in solitude, we strengthen our ability to remain calm and centered even in the midst of life's storms. As the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh reminds us, the greatest miracle is to walk on the earth in peace. By choosing to spend time alone, we also sharpen our ability to reflect on life's deeper questions. What truly matters? What are my values? Am I living authentically? These are questions we often avoid when surrounded by distractions, yet answering them is essential for a fulfilling life. Solitude provides the space to realign with our purpose, to envision the life we want to lead, and to take actionable steps toward it with renewed clarity. When we emerge from these moments of introspection, we are no longer swayed by the opinions of others or driven by fleeting desires. Instead, we move with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their own path. In today's hyper-connected world, where notifications and social media vie for our constant attention, solitude might seem like a luxury, but it is actually a necessity. Just as the body needs rest to repair and grow stronger, the mind and soul need moments of stillness to heal and evolve. So, rather than fearing time spent alone, view it as a sacred pause, a chance to recharge, realign, and rediscover your power. The Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu captured this beautifully when he said, "Silence is a source of great strength." Ultimately, solitude is not about retreating from life, but about engaging with it more fully. It is about cultivating inner peace, so that we can bring that peace into the world. When we are at ease with ourselves, we radiate calm and authenticity, inspiring others to do the same. By focusing on ourselves, not in a selfish way, but in a nurturing and purposeful way, we set a powerful example for those around us. Life becomes less about reacting to external circumstances and more about creating a harmonious inner world that guides every action. So take a moment today to pause, breathe, and embrace the stillness. Step away from the noise, even if only for a few minutes, and let solitude be your teacher. Remember, the most profound transformations begin not in the crowd, but in the quiet spaces of your own heart. The journey to inner peace and wisdom starts here, with yourself in solitude, where the seeds of a truly life-changing experience are sown. 10. Stop relying on others for your happiness. Happiness is an inside job. The more you depend on others to make you happy, the more you hand over the reins of your life to external circumstances. This is not only risky, but also contrary to the teachings of the Buddha, who said, "No one saves us but ourselves. No one can, and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path." This profound wisdom reminds us that the key to lasting joy lies not in the hands of others, but within our own hearts and minds. Relying on others for your happiness often leads to disappointment. People are unpredictable, and their actions or words may not always meet your expectations. When your sense of fulfillment hinges on how others treat you, you set yourself up for a roller coaster of emotions: joy when they're kind or attentive, but frustration and sadness when they're not. This cycle creates a fragile and unsustainable foundation for happiness. Buddhism emphasizes the importance of cultivating inner peace and self-reliance. True happiness arises from self-awareness, mindfulness, and living in harmony with your values, not from external validation or relationships. When you stop expecting others to make you happy, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering and empower yourself to take control of your emotional well-being. Think of it like this: happiness is a tree, and you are its roots. The stronger and deeper your roots, the more the tree can withstand storms. If you depend on others for happiness, your tree becomes weak, easily swayed by external forces. But when you nourish your inner self with practices like meditation, gratitude, and self-love, you cultivate unshakable roots, allowing your happiness to flourish regardless of life's challenges. Let me share a simple story to illustrate this. There was once a young man named Arjun who constantly sought joy in his relationships. If his friends were supportive, he felt happy. If they were distant or busy, he felt abandoned and upset. One day he met an old monk who said, "Why do you chase happiness like a shadow? The more you run, the farther it moves away. Turn inward, and the shadow will come to you." The monk taught Arjun how to meditate and reflect on his thoughts and emotions without judgment. Over time, Arjun realized that he had been giving others too much power over his emotions. By learning to find peace within himself, he became less dependent on external circumstances for his happiness. The old monk's advice transformed his life, and he found a lasting sense of contentment. This story highlights a fundamental truth. You have the power to create your own happiness. Instead of seeking it in others, focus on building habits that nurture your inner world. Practice gratitude daily, even for the smallest blessings. Develop hobbies and passions that bring you joy. Learn to sit with your thoughts in silence, observing them without letting them control you. These simple acts deepen your connection to yourself and cultivate a profound sense of peace. Additionally, the Buddhist principle of non-attachment can help you break free from the habit of relying on others for happiness. Non-attachment doesn't mean you don't care about others. It means you recognize that clinging to people or outcomes leads to suffering. When you let go of this neediness, you allow relationships to blossom freely and authentically without placing the burden of your happiness on others. Happiness that comes from within is not only more stable, but also more empowering. It allows you to face life's challenges with resilience, knowing that your joy doesn't depend on things going perfectly or people behaving a certain way. As the Dalai Lama said, happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Take a moment to reflect. Are there areas in your life where you're waiting for others to bring you joy? Are you placing expectations on relationships or situations to make you feel complete? If so, recognize that this approach may be limiting your growth. By shifting your focus inward, you can discover a sense of happiness that is truly yours. When you stop relying on others for happiness, you unlock the power to live authentically and with intention. You realize that joy is not something others give to you. It's something you cultivate within yourself. By taking responsibility for your happiness, you walk the path of self-mastery and discover a life of true peace and fulfillment. Remember, as the Buddha taught, happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think. Choose thoughts that empower and uplift you, and watch as your life transforms. Thank you for being here and sharing this moment with us. In today's video, we explored the power of focusing on yourself to spark a life-changing experience through Buddhist wisdom. Your presence in this community means the world to me, and I'd love to hear your thoughts or personal takeaways in the comments below. If you're new to our journey, feel free to introduce yourself with "I am a newbie." If you've been with us for a while, comment "I am mindful" to let us know you're here. Your engagement inspires and strengthens this community, creating a ripple of positive energy for us all. Let's continue walking this path of wisdom together, shall we? How to focus on yourself to experience life-changing transformation. In the fast-paced whirlwind of modern life, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters, ourselves. Yet, focusing on yourself isn't an act of selfishness. It's a profound step toward unlocking your potential and creating a life of meaning and fulfillment. Transformation doesn't happen by chance. It begins with intentional choices, small but steady actions that align your life with your inner purpose. The journey to focus on yourself is not about isolating yourself from others or disregarding their needs. Rather, it's about cultivating a relationship with your own mind, body, and spirit, so you can show up as your best self in all areas of life. Through clarity, mindfulness, skill building, healthy habits, letting go, and patience, you can awaken the transformative power within and step into the life you've always envisioned. Let's explore these 6 transformative steps to help you shift your focus inward and embrace the incredible changes that come when you prioritize yourself. 1. Define clear personal goals. To experience a life-changing transformation, begin by defining clear personal goals, for clarity is the foundation of a focused and fulfilling life. Ask yourself with genuine curiosity, what is the most important thing to me in life? This simple yet profound question has the power to unravel the layers of societal expectations and surface your true desires. Once you identify your priorities, craft a detailed plan that resonates with your core values and aspirations. Remember, a plan is not merely a checklist, but a guiding map that helps you navigate the complexities of life with purpose. Buddha once said, "Your work is to discover your work, and then with all your heart to give yourself to it." This means that when your goals are deeply aligned with your sense of purpose, every step toward them feels meaningful, even amidst challenges. In modern life, distractions are abundant, and it's easy to feel lost in the chaos of daily responsibilities. But focusing your energy intentionally can be your antidote to overwhelm. Think of your energy as sunlight. When diffused, it warms the surroundings. When concentrated through a magnifying glass, it can ignite a flame. Similarly, channeling your focus toward your goals transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary progress. Start small, perhaps by dedicating a consistent hour each day to tasks that contribute to your vision. Be kind yet disciplined with yourself, for sustainable change requires persistence, not perfection. To keep your motivation alive, visualize how your goals will enrich your life and those around you. Infuse gratitude into the process, celebrating every milestone, no matter how small. As Thich Nhat Hanh wisely shared, the present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. Grounding yourself in the present while working toward the future allows you to cherish the journey as much as the destination. So, take a deep breath, align your focus with your intentions, and begin today, because the life you desire is waiting for you to claim it with clarity and courage. 2. Practice mindfulness. To truly focus on yourself and experience life-changing transformation, practicing mindfulness is a vital step that allows you to reconnect with the present moment and find peace amidst the rush of modern life. Mindfulness is not just a practice, it's a way of being, an art of immersing yourself fully in the now. By anchoring yourself in the present, you let go of the weight of regrets about the past and worries about the future, and instead, you begin to appreciate the beauty and simplicity of each moment. As the Buddha wisely taught, do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. This timeless wisdom invites us to be fully alive where we are right now. To cultivate mindfulness, spend time meditating daily, a practice as simple as sitting quietly, observing your breath, and letting your thoughts pass like clouds in the sky. Meditation is like clearing the clutter from your mind, allowing space for clarity and renewal. Picture this. A lake on a stormy day is turbulent and chaotic, but when the storm subsides, the surface becomes calm, reflecting everything around it with perfect clarity. Your mind works the same way. Through meditation, you calm the inner storms and recharge your energy, creating a deep well of peace that you can draw upon throughout your day. Mindfulness is not a skill reserved for moments of quiet. It's a habit you can bring into your daily activities. While eating, notice the flavors and textures of your food. While walking, feel the ground beneath your feet. By focusing your attention on the present, you unlock the gift of gratitude, reduce stress, and deepen your connection to yourself and others. The lesson here is simple. When you live mindfully, you transform even ordinary moments into something extraordinary. Take this opportunity to pause, breathe, and begin your journey into mindfulness. It may just be the most profound transformation you will ever experience. 3. Develop personal skills. To focus on yourself and experience life-changing transformation, it's essential to invest in developing your personal skills, as growth begins when you step outside your comfort zone and embrace new challenges. Learning a new skill, taking a course, or diving into books that nurture your personal growth are not just activities, they're commitments to becoming the best version of yourself. Have you ever asked yourself, what can I learn today that will make me better tomorrow? This simple question can be a gateway to exploring opportunities that not only expand your knowledge, but also deepen your confidence and self-belief. As the Dalai Lama said, when you talk, you are only repeating what you already know. But if you listen, you may learn something new. This highlights the importance of staying open to growth and seeking wisdom in unfamiliar places. Consider how trying something new can transform your perspective. For instance, picking up a new language, learning to cook, or joining a local class in a subject you've always admired but never explored can unlock not only skills but also hidden layers of courage and resilience within you. A true story comes to mind about a man who, in his 40s, decided to learn how to swim despite years of fear and self-doubt. With consistent effort and a willingness to face his fears, he not only mastered swimming but also discovered a newfound confidence that spilled into every area of his life. What skill have you always wanted to learn but kept putting off? Could taking that first step open doors to growth you've never imagined? Challenging yourself with new experiences is like planting seeds in a garden. You may not see the results immediately, but with patience and care, they grow into something beautiful. The same applies to personal development. Every small step builds on the last, creating a foundation for greater success and fulfillment. The key lesson here is simple. Learning and growth are lifelong journeys, and every moment you spend investing in yourself brings you closer to a more enriched, confident, and capable version of you. So, take a leap, try something new, and trust that the effort you put into yourself will yield a harvest far beyond what you expect. 4. Build healthy habits. Building healthy habits is like tending to a garden. When you nourish the soil, nurture the plants, and remove the weeds, the garden flourishes with vibrant life. Similarly, maintaining a balanced diet, exercising regularly, and ensuring quality sleep are foundational practices for cultivating a strong, clear mind that can face life's challenges with resilience. In a world filled with distractions and demands, prioritizing these simple yet powerful habits is a profound act of self-care. A balanced diet fuels the body with the energy it needs to thrive, just as a well-tuned instrument produces harmonious music. Exercise, even in small daily increments, strengthens not only the body but also the mind, releasing stress and promoting clarity, much like a river that flows freely when unblocked. And let us not underestimate the value of restorative sleep, the quiet sanctuary where the mind processes emotions and the body rejuvenates itself. As the Buddha wisely said, to keep the body in good health is a duty, otherwise we shall not be able to keep our mind strong and clear. These habits are not luxuries but essentials, particularly in modern life where we are bombarded by information and expectations. Many people feel overwhelmed, anxious, or stuck in cycles of fatigue because they neglect these basic pillars of well-being. But transformation begins with small, consistent steps. Start by choosing whole, nutrient-dense foods that align with your body's needs. Incorporate movement into your day. Even a brisk walk can be transformative. And set a bedtime routine that signals your mind it's time to rest. When these practices are in place, you'll find your thoughts more focused, your emotions more balanced, and your outlook on life brighter. As Lao Tzu said, "He who conquers others is strong, he who conquers himself is mighty." By mastering the art of healthy living, you empower yourself to experience life-changing transformation, one mindful choice at a time. Let these habits become your allies on the path to inner peace and outward vitality. A gentle reminder that taking care of yourself is the foundation for everything you aspire to achieve. 5. Learn to let go. Letting go is one of the most powerful steps you can take to transform your life, but it's not always easy. Many of us carry the weight of our past, old mistakes, regrets, or painful memories that can keep us stuck and unable to move forward. But ask yourself this: how can you embrace the present if your hands are full of yesterday's burdens? The truth is, Holding on to the past often feels safer because it's familiar, even when it's painful. Yet, the freedom you seek is found in letting go. Start by focusing on what you can control and change. The past is unchangeable, like a book already written, but the present moment is a blank page waiting for your story. You have the pen in your hand. What will you write? When you shift your focus to what's within your power, you'll find that life opens up in ways you never thought possible. Let me share a story. There was once a monk who carried a heavy bag everywhere he went. His back ached and his journey was slow, but he refused to let the bag go, saying it was filled with all his lessons and experiences. One day, an elder monk asked him, "Why don't you empty the bag?" The younger monk hesitated but agreed. To his surprise, most of what he thought was valuable turned out to be useless stones. Relieved of the weight, his journey became lighter, and he moved forward with greater ease. The same is true for us. We often carry burdens we no longer need, thinking they're essential. What are you carrying that no longer serves you? Another practice to help you let go is cultivating gratitude. When you focus on what you have rather than what you've lost, you begin to see the beauty and abundance around you. Pause for a moment and look around. What are 3 things you can be thankful for right now? This simple shift in perspective has the power to transform negativity into peace and appreciation. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you, it's a way of seeing the world through a lens of abundance rather than lack. The key lesson here is this: you cannot control the past, but you can control how you respond to it. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you create space for new opportunities and joy. Practice gratitude daily to ground yourself in the present and recognize the richness of your life. So, what will you choose to let go of today, and what will you invite into your life instead? This choice can change everything. 6. Be patient with your journey. Be patient with your journey, because true transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that unfolds one step at a time, just like a flower blooming in its own season. Life-changing growth often requires persistence, dedication, and most importantly, patience with yourself. Think of the Buddha's words, "A jug fills drop by drop." Each small step you take, every little effort, adds up to something profound over time. Celebrate those small victories, no matter how minor they seem. Did you take a moment for self-care today? Did you set a boundary or learn something new? These are milestones, not mere footnotes. Reflect on them and let yourself feel gratitude for the progress you've made. Patience also means being compassionate when you stumble, understanding that missteps are part of the path. Can you recall a time when you learned more from failure than success? Such moments are your greatest teachers. Ask yourself, how can I show myself kindness even when things don't go as planned? Remember, even the tallest tree began as a tiny seed, growing steadily and silently toward the sky. Trust your process, knowing that transformation isn't about rushing to the finish line. It's about evolving at your own pace. When you embrace patience, you cultivate a deep sense of peace, because you stop fighting against time and start flowing with it. How can you celebrate your growth today, no matter how small it seems? Keep this question close as you move forward on your journey of self-discovery. As we conclude today's journey into focusing on yourself for a life-changing experience, remember, the key to transformation lies within. By turning inward, cultivating mindfulness, letting go of distractions, and nurturing your inner growth, you can create a life filled with peace, purpose, and resilience. Thank you for joining me today on the Journey of Wisdom. If you found value in this video, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming videos, filled with more insights to guide you toward a fulfilling and mindful life. Your journey to a better self begins now, one mindful step at a time. See you in the next video.